Car plows through crowd of BLM supporters in Times Square. Demonstrators in NYC are injured protesting the death of Daniel Prude, who suffocated after Rochester cops made him wear a spit hood. An investigation has been launched in New York City after a car drove through a crowd of Black Lives Matter demonstrators and left them desperately screaming for medics. Authorities said the frightening incident happened on Thursday evening in Times Square during a protest over the death of Daniel Prude, a 41-year-old man who suffocated to death while in police custody. The anti-racism demonstration was met with counter-protesters in the form of President Trump and Back the Blue supporters, authorities said. A number of city officials have demanded the New York Police Department review the disturbing action taken against peaceful protesters. Footage shared by Data Input on Twitter shows hundreds of protesters grouped together in Times Square as rain fell over the Big Apple. "No justice, no peace," the group chants. A handful of New Yorkers on bicycles stand in front of a black Ford Taurus near an intersection around 8 p.m. It appears the group is attempting to stop the vehicle from moving forward as the crowd walks across the street. The car briefly drives forward, pushing the group of protesters back, before suddenly accelerating into the crowd. Screams echo through the crowd as people try to maneuver out of the way and bikes scatter along the street. The vehicle stops for a moment before speeding off and out of the area. While initial reports at the scene speculated that the vehicle was an unmarked police car after the New York Police Department denied the accusation. There is an ongoing investigation into an incident in Times Square involving a black Taurus sedan. "This auto is not an NYPD vehicle," the agency wrote on Twitter. Witnesses at the scene said they saw police driving the vehicle and a search of the license plate showed it listed as Police Interceptor. Authorities have not identified the driver and it's unclear if the car was a decommissioned police vehicle. The department said that no complaints or injuries had been reported around 10 p.m., but photos and witnesses at the scene said some people sustained minor wounds. Additional footage shared by Gwen Hogan with The Gothamist shows people calling out for medics as people moan in pain. At least one man was bandaged at the scene and other photos showed people with bruises. "I'm in shock. I'm just happy to be alive right now," Laura Gettelfinger, a 33-year-old protester who was struck in the leg by the car, told Gothamist. Kari McDaniel said he was assigned as security detail for the protest when the unidentified driver plowed through the crowd. "I saw people getting hit, so I'm trying to get out of the way. Luckily I made it out just in time, but the car hit my bike, and my bike hit both of my legs," said McDaniel, 23. He noted that authorities at the scene reportedly had a blasé reaction to the incident. "Just seeing how cops reacted, how they were so passive about it, it goes to show you where they stand," McDaniel added. The Black Lives Matter protesters regrouped after the incident and continued marching towards Columbus Circle. In a second video taken by Data Input, protesters at Columbus Circle claimed someone in a different vehicle at the scene had a gun. The handgun is not visible in footage online, but DailyMail.com has reached out to the NYPD for confirmation. Authorities told ABC7 that episode may have involved demonstrators from a pro-Trump rally and Black Lives Matter supporters. A number of counter-protesters, several carrying American flags, were seen at the demonstration as well. Thursday night's commotion mirrors that of a similar incident in Aurora, Colorado, where a Jeep sped through a large Black Lives Matter protest on a blocked highway. The scene turned chaotic after the blue Jeep crashed into another vehicle and one man in the crowd opened fire on I-225 earlier this year. During the incident, several demonstrators were forced to flee from the Jeep and one woman appeared to fall 20 feet off the side of the highway to dodge the vehicle. 3 New York City officials have spoken out to condemn the footage and request the New York Police Department hold the driver accountable. "This video shows an incredibly reckless and disturbing action through a lawful protest," wrote Council Speaker Corey Johnson. "We must get to the bottom of it. We need accountability." Senator Brad Hoylman also called the incident disturbing and said, "We have asked the city directly as to the identity of the driver and its investigation." Hoylman added that since July 6, there have been at least 66 incidents of cars ramming into Black Lives Matter protesters. Council member Keith Powers said, "Using a vehicle to hurt peaceful protesters is unacceptable and must be stopped." The Black Lives Matter protest on Thursday joined several others around the country after Daniel Prude died in March, but footage of the incident resurfaced this month. Prude was left brain dead after his March 23 encounter with Rochester PD. He died 7 days later when he was taken off life support. Prude's brother Joe had phoned 911 for assistance as his sibling began suffering a mental health episode. Prude, who had been visiting Rochester from his hometown of Chicago, walked out of Joe's house at around 3 a.m. in frigid temperatures, wearing only underwear, a tank top and socks. As he made his way through the neighborhood, he started removing his clothes. Police claim he also smashed windows. Several other people encountered him, with at least one calling 911 to report his erratic behavior. Officers placed a hood over his head and pressed his face into the pavement until he stopped breathing. His family shared video of his final moments to the public this week, prompting Mayor Lovely Warren to suspend all 7 officers involved in the death. The Monroe County Medical Examiner ruled his death a homicide caused by complications of asphyxia in the setting of physical restraint. The report also listed excited delirium and acute intoxication by phencyclidine, or PCP, as contributing factors. "I have never shied away from taking action and holding our police or anyone that fails in their duties in our community accountable," Mayor Warren told reporters Thursday. "That is why I am suspending the officers in question today, against the advice of counsel. You cannot stand around and allow these types of things to happen. You have a duty," she continued. Mr. Daniel Prude was failed by the police department, our mental health care system, our society, and he was failed by me. Thank you for watching with Peter Reporter Min News. Subscribe to my channel for new updates.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.